Okay, welcome everyone. So today's topic is how to set our macros for our fat loss or muscle gain journey. So I will teach you the practical way how you will set up your macros. Okay, for that one we need some formulas on like how we can do it. Okay, so I have created one Excel for that one. So I will share that one with you. Okay, let me share my screen. Can I see it, everyone?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, okay. So this is the Excel sheet that I have created so that it will help me in calculating someone's BMR and TDE. So we'll put that one for our reference. Okay, let's say we are taking a person whose a height is like, let's say 5 feet 10 inch, and his weight is currently 90 kg, let's say 90 kg, and he's having, let's say, 30% body fat. Okay, this is subjective to every person. So we'll take as like a reference we are taking. Then let's say a male and age is somewhere, let's say 34 age. Okay, and we'll based on that one we'll calculate the BMR. Let's first put the height. Here I have given in feet and inch. So 5 feet and 10 inch. Okay, so then weight will take it as 90 kg. Okay, so 5% will give us 30%. Just a second. Okay, will take here the height. It will be 5 feet. Here 10 inch, and here weight will take as 90 kgs, and body fat percentage will take as 30%. Okay. पुणी कुआडे पळेला अच्छा okay, 5 feet 10 inch, then height in cm it is coming automatically. Then weight, if you are taking 90 kgs. Okay, so here it is coming in oz, that is pound. If someone is having pound system, then they can calculate that way. So here I am taking fat percentage as 30%. So lean mass, this is the calculation of lean mass. What is lean mass? It is the body's complete weight minus the fat mass. So 90 kgs minus this one, like fat percentage, it will come this one 39. So sex I have taken female, and age I have taken 34. Okay, if I am taking that one, the BMR is coming 1731. Okay, so 1731 is, so this is the amount of calorie required to sustain oneself. So the heartbeat, that our heartbeat beats, then our blood flows, and for doing everything internally, we require 1731 like calories of meal, calories of meal. So then we will add the activity level. So if we'll see whether that person is sedentary or lightly active, moderately active, very active, or extra active. So let's say lightly active, that person is lightly active, then so it will be required to calculate the TDE. So then it is, we will calculate the TEF, that is thermic effect of food. What is thermic effect of food? It is the amount of energy required for the food to get digested. Usually we don't calculate that one, so many people miss that one. So it is very difficult to calculate the exact thing, but we will take that one as 10% of our BMR. So our BMR is 1731, so we'll take that 10% of that one, so it will be coming to 173. Then for calculating TDE, I have a formula. it will take the BMR, then activity level, then TEF. So by using that formula, it is coming to 2553. So around 2500 calorie. So now we have to check what we need to do. Do we need to gain our muscle? So this is the three formula. Whether you want to do it slowly, slow and steadily, or you are want to average speed, or you are very bullish on that one. So based on that one, you can calculate the calories required for you. Similarly, for if someone is looking for weight loss, then these are three formulas, the three calories that one needs. So 10%. So 10% is this 2553 less 10%. So if you will calculate that one, it will come to 2298. This is like slow and steady method. It will take little bit more time, but it is very effective. And this is something in moderate time required. And 30% means you have to create such huge deficit. It is like somewhere around 800 calories. So this is usually not preferred. It is mainly done by film people or those who require some whose body is there like profession, like actors, models, and those people use this method to lose so much of weight in less amount of time. So let's say this person is looking to lose weight. So we got to know that this is the calories required by that person. So we will calculate the 10% less of that one, that is 20 to 98. So the total calories required is, let's say, 2300. Now first, when we are setting up our macros, we'll first calculate the protein requirement. So our total calories required is 2300. Then protein, how much protein one should take? It is like if someone is not doing anything, like for just living our life, it is uh, okay if you are taking 0.8 gram for our body weight. But if someone
Excuse
is
me,
looking,
Ruparanjan.
yeah,
Your screen I cannot see. It is not moving only. It is steady.
can you see now?
Your screen I cannot see. It is only constant only. It is not moving. Your share screen, that Excel sheet. I
Okay,
cannot see any formula and anything I cannot see.
okay, let me. Can
You
you
have
see now?
already shared screen.
Now can you see it?
Yes. Now it's okay.
Okay,
Okay. You can continue.
okay. So our calories is 2300. Okay, now first we'll set up our protein. So if someone is working out, so it is advisable to have 1.2 to 1.5, and they can go to up to 2 gram per body weight. We'll start from like lower end, then we'll gradually build up our protein requirement. So let's say it is we'll take 1.2 gram, 1.2 gram per body weight, and this person's weight is 90 kg. So if we'll check that one, it will come to 108 gram. Okay, so we'll write that one as 108 gram. So this is the weight of protein we require, 108 gram. So how much is the calories for 108 gram protein? It is multiplied by 4. So each gram of protein is gives us 4 calories. So it will be 108 into 4. That means 432 calorie. So our 432 calorie is done. Then we'll check our fat. How much fat is required for a normal like person. So it will be around, you can take 25 to 35% of body weight. Okay. So let's say we'll keep it as moderate. It will be 2500. Let's say 25 to 35% of calorie requirement, not body weight. So 25, let's say 2500. So 25%, that will come to 0.25 into this 2300. So it will come to 575. So this is the amount of fat is required. If you will calculate this as a weight, how much is required? 575 divided by 9. So each gram of fat is 9, gives us 9 calories. So 64 calories of fat we can take. So then whatever is remaining out of 2300, that will be our caps. Okay, so if I'll calculate 2300 minus 432 minus 575, so 1293 calories will come from carbs. Okay, so if I will see how much weight of carbs will take, that will be 1293 divided by 4. That means each gram of carbs gives us 4 calorie of energy. So this is the thing which we need to like keep in mind before planning anything. So this is the thing we came up. Then like we have to choose what carb source we have to eat. Okay, what fat source we have to eat, what protein source we have to eat. This is up to our convenience. We can't say that okay, you should eat. This is like every area have the different preference. For carbs we can eat, let's say wheat, that is atta, then rice, then quinoa we can eat, then ragi, then oats. There are so many options that we can eat. For fat, we can take the fat from the oil, that is anything ghee or coconut oil. Uh, then we have olive oil, but that is very expensive in India. So this is mainly used for preparing curries and all the thing, or for garnishing. Then there are protein source. For protein source, if we can take chicken, chicken breast, then we can take no, what paneer, soybean,
X.
eggs. Egg will be like a mix of protein and fat. That is also good source of fatty protein. So this is the thing. If we can't complete our protein from this source, or even in dal also we are having some amount of protein along with carbs, we can take that one. So if we are not meeting that one, then we can take the whey protein. That is optional. That is not the mandatory thing, but we can take this as additional if you are not meeting our criteria. So these are the thing that is required. So then we have to use some app like Healthy by Me or Fitter. There we can see like how much like rice. It's not that we can take any amount of rice. Let's say we are eating rice 100 gram. Then we have to check 100 gram of rice is how much. Let's say 340 calorie is rice. So from 1293 340 calories is done. Okay, from rice, let's say roti, that is made up of thing. Then let's say we are taking 80 gram. So accordingly we'll calculate the calories. So accordingly we'll calculate all the carbs required, then protein required and fat required. So your ingredients are given. These are like ingredients. So ingredients, all right. So your ingredients is given. So you can make anything. You may make paneer sabji or soybean or eggs or chicken. And another thing that is very required is vegetables. Vegetables gives us fiber. Okay. And apart from fiber, it gives us very little amount of carbs, but that is negligible. So we can ignore that the carbs that we are getting from vegetables. We can uh, we should eat vegetable because of fiber. So even if you are getting around like uh, 300 grams of vegetable, that is okay. So you will not get much uh, carbs from vegetables. You can use like all green vegetables, or like cucumber, like then leafy vegetables like palak and all the thing. You can eat in any amount, so that is not a problem. So you can take this any amount from this one. So when you are eating everything in a proportion, okay, so like your daily requirement is 2553, and if you are eating the 2300, so you are creating a deficit of 250 calories. Okay, so when you are reducing that 250 calories from your daily diet, then slowly the body will use your fat to for the requirement of that 25 to 50 calories. Then you will start losing fat. Along with this, um, along with this diet, you also need to do exercise to support, to fasten the weight loss process. That is a separate topic for discussion. Also, this is our core agenda of this meeting. Do you have any doubt on this topic? I'll stop sharing.
So initially you told that 10% you want to be in 10% deficit. Why 10%? Why not in 40% or 50%? One may lose weight very early actually. In 3 months he can lose 15 kg. So that will be better for him, na?
No, you can lose, but there comes like so many demerits also. There are like adherence issue also there. That means like if you are eating so much of calories, and one day I will say that okay, you don't have to do anything. Like you are using Instagram and Netflix and all the thing you are doing. Then one day suddenly I will tell you, okay, go to Himalaya and you will not have access to anything. So that will be a problem for you also. So it will have like at the beginning someone might be having some motivation to do one thing, then gradually after some day they will lose their interest, then they will come back to their original thing. So we have to think of long term, not going short term, like okay, this is not a fat loss or fitness is not a thing for 3 months or 4 months. Okay, I reduced my weight from 100 kg to 60 kg, then I am sorted for the life. It's not like that, and we have to think long term, and for whole life we have to think.
So you are talking about sustainability. But
Yeah.
the thing is, let's say 30% deficit and one will be used to his or her body will be used to be in that 30% deficit for long. So is there any problem going to 30%, 40%? Let's say that guy is very highly motivated throughout the life. Then there is no problem.
See, motivation will work for certain amount of time. So after thing that then sustainability that you said, that is also required. Okay, because I am motivated, then I will eat. But does our body supports that one? We have to see that perspective also. If I will say, then we created 30%, then you will have like hunger issue. Okay, so you will first motivated, then you started 800 calories, and 800 calories is not a less amount. So let's say you are start having hunger, then you will think of, okay, let's say I will eat one piece of chips. Okay, one piece of chips will not be having much calorie. Then you started eating. Okay, so you will not feel satisfied with one like chips and all the thing. Then you started eating. Then you, what you do, you started eating the whole packet of chips. Then you will start regretting, oh, I was looking for fat loss, then I ate that chips. Okay, then there will start a regret. Then what you will do, you will, to compensate that one, you will you will eat even more less amount of calories the next day. That is not suitable. And you 30% if you are going, then you should not eat less than your BMR also. In some person, in some cases, the BMR, the difference between BMR and TTE is not that the difference is very less. In that case, coming down to like 30% will be very difficult. So in that case, what we can do, we can increase our activity level. If we will increase our activity level, then there will be more, like it is like some more like 20 to 25% deficit. In that way we can do.
Okay. Another question. Let's say I want to lose weight and I will be in deficit, but I will not do workout. I will
Hmm.
not do any strength training or weightlifting. So is there any problem? Still, I will
No,
lose weight, right?
yes, you can lose weight, but the time required will be very less. It's like normally if you are like walking and going somewhere and coming, then doing some work in home and all the thing, then also you are burning some energy. That is like aerobic way of a exercise. That is also a type of exercise. Those people like our mothers and all the thing, they are whole day they are working in home and doing some work and all the thing. That is also a type of work. Okay, even if you are doing that one also, you can lose weight. Even if you don't do some exercise, even you can do that one. But if you are doing exercise, there are a whole lot of benefit added to the exercise, like you will retain your muscle mass. Okay, if you are exercising and taking protein in correct amount of protein, then you can retain your muscle mass. Then another thing is that if you are retain your muscle mass, that will be helpful for you in the longer run. Like when you will uh, become older, that muscle will come here handy to you. That will not muscle will not go anywhere. So why not exercise for that one, and further like further boost the fat loss journey.
Okay, okay. So another thing is you told about deficit, and there is like there is no particular food. You
Hmm.
say you can eat anything, just you have to be in deficit.
Hmm.
So I will eat pizza and burger, and I will be in 1800 calorie. Let's say my calorie requirement is 2000 calorie. I just need to eat 800 calorie. So I may eat anything. So is that a proper way? Then still I will lose weight, na? If I'm in
Yeah.
800 calorie. Yeah.
Yeah, first thing is that yes, you can do that one. There was an experiment done by some person in US. Then he was eating only pizzas and he still lose weight. Okay, it's not that you will not lose it, but the thing is that uh, first thing is that here we Indian are not accustomed to eating pizzas. Okay, we eat pizza for some when some occasion is there and all the thing, but eating pizza daily, that is not sustainable to us. And another thing is that if you will see one gulab jamun, that is 500 calories. So you eat one gulab jamun, that is 500 calories gone. Will you be that will be filling? So you can't have a gulab jamun in your dinner. Okay, then you will feel hungry at night, then you will start eating something else, so that is not sustainable. You you are having only 2000 calories. If you are eating 500 calories only from one gulab jamun, and there is high chance that you will eat 3 4 gulab jamun. There is a very high chance. So there only you are eating 2000 calories. Then what about the rest of the day? Okay, let's say you eat that gulab jamun at the starting of the day. Then what about the rest of the day, where you will feel that calories? And these things are not, satiety level is very low in this food. You will feel hungry after some at a certain point of time. Let's say you will eat pizza, then it will be you will be feeling for 2 hours 3 hours. Then after that, maybe 2 3 hours maximum, then after that one you will feel hungry. Then your pizza has taken most portion of your calories. Let's say out of 2000 calories, your pizza has taken 1000 calories. That no one eats pizza for our lunch or dinner. You will be mostly having it for snacks or like evening or like that one. Then what after that one? So will you be able to sustain in 1000 calories for the whole day? Then there will be a problem in that one. You can eat, but it is like once in a time, like once in a month, twice in a month, you are doing that one. Then it's fine, but it should not be done every day to say that okay, I can manage I can eat anything, even if it is in set of macros. You should not do that one.
Okay. So another question is what about the gaining phase? In gaining phase, the calories you have to be in calorie surplus, right?
Yeah.
So in calorie surplus, I should be in 10%, 20%, or 30%. What is the ratio or what is the recommendation? How much surplus I should be?
See, there is no like recommended for every person is different. So you can't say that okay, this is recommended. But if you are having that 10 to 15% in surplus, then increase your workout level. Then see that how your body is responding. If you are if your body is responding with that 10 to 15%, then go with that one. So after one point of time, if your body is not responding to that 10 to 15% of that surplus that you have created, then you increase your meal. So you will see that okay, my muscle gain is happening over the time. But after one point of time, my muscle gain is not happening or my body weight is not changing. Then after that one, you start changing your diet. You may go to more surplus at that time.
Okay. Why vitamin and minerals are so important? As you told in that Excel sheet that you have to fulfill all vitamin and minerals. So what will happen if I will not fulfill those things?
See, when you
Let's
are
say
taking,
let's say I fulfill only my macros, that protein, carbs, and fat, and let I ignore that vitamin and minerals. So what will the problem?
see, first thing is that if you are eating vegetables and milk and all the thing, you will fulfill your vitamin requirement mostly. If you are not like taking any vitamin, let's say you are eating something that you are not getting any vitamin or minerals from that one, then you will see side effects. Like if you will see that like your vitamin A helps in vision. So if you are not having like vitamin A in your diet, then you will start having blurred vision or like night vision problem. So blurred vision, that problem will arise. Then every vitamin we helps us in some kind or other way. So if you are having deficit in that one, then you will start having problem. Like vitamin D is for bone health. So if you are not taking vitamin D either from your diet or externally, then you will have problem in your bone. So each like vitamin and mineral helps in us in one way or other way. So that's why we have to make sure that we are taking our vitamin properly.
Okay, okay. So,
Okay.
in respect
Okay.
to muscle building, which vitamin is the most vital?
See, it's not like any one vitamin is most vital. You need all vitamins. It's not that one vitamin alone will help you do something. If you take some one vitamin or one mineral, that will not can't do anything. Okay. So when you are taking them everything in a day, then it will help you fulfill your result. It will do the work. But if you are saying that okay, that this vitamin will help me, then that is not a correct thing.
Okay.
You are on mute.
Mr. Ruparanjan, I want to reduce my weight to now I'm 82 kg. I want to reduce to 75 kg.
Hmm.
Will you suggest that I will take whey protein now?
So it is depend on whether you are fulfilling your protein requirement from your food or not. If your current food what you are eating that is not having enough protein, then you can go for whey protein. Okay, when whey protein is a additional, that is why it is called supplement. Supplement means it will give additional support to your meal. It is not that you should take, but you can take it.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
what
Okay.
about the multivitamins? Like some people I saw they are taking multivitamins. So, is it like necessary for muscle building or losing weight taking multivitamin? Let's say one is taking all the vegetables, fruits. Still, does he or he needs that multivitamin?
Not required, not necessarily required. But if you are like don't know what vitamin you are like lacking, then you can take multivitamin. But taking multivitamin is not necessary. You can do your vitamin profile test, then see that what vitamin you are lacking. Let's say you are lacking in vitamin D. Take the vitamin D tablet only. If you are lacking in zinc, take the zinc tablet only. So it is not necessary to take multivitamin because multivitamin are expensive compared to single vitamin A. If you are not deficient of vitamin A, then why should you take a vitamin A? And the ratio in vitamin A, let's say you require vitamin D, and the ratio of vitamin E in multivitamin tablet is not unknown, is not known. Okay, so you don't know how much vitamin D you are getting. You are simply taking the vitamin tablet and thinking that okay, I am taking the enough of vitamin D, but that is not okay. So we can do a test our vitamin test in our lab, some lab. Then we see what vitamin we are lacking. After that one, we can take the same vitamin which is we are having deficit.
So there is some RDA, like daily recommended something is there. In every country, there is some recommended that this much vitamin you should take.
Hmm.
Let's say I don't know how much I am taking from my food. Plus, I started taking multivitamin. So does this overdose have any problem with my body? Let's say I
Yeah,
have some vitamin A overdose. Does it have any impact on my body?
yeah, it will have, but the thing is that taking so much of vitamin A also, like any vitamin, will be a problem because we are not getting it in like bulk, like we are taking carbs in so much in bulk. Then we are not taking our vitamins in such bulk amount from our food. It is whatever food we are taking, it is like normal range. It remains in normal range. But if you will, the amount will be like consistently high, then it will create a problem for us.
Okay. So another question is like before working out that we call pre-workout. So is it necessary to take some pre-workout like things?
Not necessary. If you wish, you can take. Like in pre-workout, you can take, have some fruits or like oats or anything, and or else you can take black coffee. That is up to you. It's not necessary and not like you should have. You can have, but you
Will it impact my exercise like my stamina? Like I weight 30 kg, but if I will take the pre-workout, I will weight 40 kg. So will there is some connection?
uh, yes, some cases it works perfectly, but not in every cases. Like it's not that if you are taking lifting 30 kg, you will start lifting 40 kg or 50 kg after taking that one. So it's like in reps, in it helps like you are doing 10 reps, it will help you to do 12 reps or 13 reps like that one. It will help you to do.
Okay.
It gives you the sudden boost of energy. Like if you are taking coffee, then it will give you a sudden boost of energy for a very small amount of time. It's not that it will remain the same, your energy level will remain the same throughout the time. Like people take VCA, double A, and coffee, and some other things also they are taking. It will give for a certain amount of time. That's why people take that one.
Okay.
Okay, I think we are done. Okay, we'll close this one.
Yeah.
Any more question?
Yeah. No, not from my side.
Anyone else? Okay, I think that's it. Okay, I'll stop recording. Okay, thank you all for
Yeah.
joining.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thanks. Many
bye bye.
thanks.